Okay. So apparently there is a lot of astronomical stuff going on today. Today, the 3I Atlas comet and the other whatever else is big. It's a big deal today. And oh, Mindy, you're the one that sent me that video about it. And I mean, every day it seems like something's happening in our world. So, but this is a huge day, astronomically and astrologically. So I'm really glad I'm here with all my favorite peeps. It's a perfect time. Yeah. So we are going to do a little writing tonight. So if you don't have paper and pen, pencil, felt marker, old lipstick, whatever, then now is the time to gather that. Yeah. And if you notice, we're doing this little magic thing tonight where we have two cameras. So you can see my altar, and then you can have the other camera on me. And I purposefully have the lights low because we're doing the shadow. And I'm really looking forward to that. I was practicing earlier and I thought, I need a bigger piece of paper. But what I just need to write smaller. I'm one of those people that fill up whatever space they have, whether it's on paper or a house or a hotel room. I just expand to the size of my container or whatever the size of the container. So, yeah. And then I have a special candle that I will light later that is going to be burning for 3 hours after this meeting. And I'm thinking that the writing that we're going to do, I'm going to take it outside and burn it later because I'd like to complete with that. It just feels good to have ashes and then let them go in the wind or in the water, whatever you have. Yeah. And I'm wearing my very cute Om necklace tonight. I was in a little store here in Tucson. It's very close to where I live, and I had never been there before. And I must have tried on 30 different things and nothing, zip, nothing. I even found a pair of earrings that I tried, and they were just too big. So, but as I was walking out the door, I saw this and it just spoke to me. But I've never worn it. So tonight we're going to be doing some sound work. So I thought, perfect. You can't really wear it doing yoga, but tonight it's the perfect night for it. Time. Okay. Well, I think we should begin. So let's begin with a meditation and just a little anchoring in. So if you'd close your eyes, take a breath. Let's do 3. In through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Really feel your belly relax. The thoughts of the day drift away so that your head is lighter, your brain is quiet for a while, your mind is quiet, and your chest can open a little so your shoulders just slide back and your spine is a little bit straighter and your chin is in line with your collarbone. So your head is not thrusting forward like we so often do, like it will get us there sooner. And then into the arms, make sure that your hands are soft and relaxed in your upper arms and your hips. And then feel the breath go down the legs into the feet and into the earth. I always like to imagine that under the concrete slab where I'm living and under the sand, that if you went down X number of feet, that somewhere under there is the crystalline grid. And it may not look like anything I can possibly imagine, but that's okay because I know it's there and I know I'm connected to it. And I know it's supporting me. I know it's supporting all of us because we are all over the world, but so is that grid. And that connects us. So the power of this sacred circle and being connected as we do this work is important. We always did this in Lemuria, even if we didn't all live in the same little village or hamlet. When we were doing work together, the rest of the island knew it, the rest of the continent knew it, and we were supported. So as we do this, just let your imagination go to a place that is possible for who else, where else is also connecting to the grid tonight and doing healing work, or tomorrow if it's you on the other side of the world. And that together we support each other in this wave of transformation. As I always say, it's important to remember that it's not just us, and it's not just now, that this is a grid that exists and is always turned on, and that we are just, at this moment, we are plugging into that grid. So take another big breath. And I'd like you to drop into that sacred space anywhere in your body or in your heart or in your mind, maybe between your hands, of when you see the words or hear the words or say the words, alchemy of the sacred shadow. What comes up for you? Do you tighten up anywhere in your body? It used to be when I thought about my shadow, I just wanted to go the other direction because I was afraid. But now, and tonight, we say, bring it, because it really is a teacher for us. And alchemy is transformation. And the shadow is sacred. It always has been. No day without night, no yin without yang. And so as we explore the gift, or many gifts, that it has to give us, we back away from the fear and the resistance of exploring it. And we can look at it and play with it in a way that is good for us, that is helpful, that is healing, that is revealing. And that's what I really like, is that it reveals the things. Y'all must know the story of Pandora's box and how when the lid was removed from the box, you didn't want to remove the lid because inside there was all this terrible, dark, creepy, crawly, nasty creatures. But when the lid was removed and all the creatures got out, what was left in the box was light. So we've been programmed to fear what's in the box. So we keep the lid on it. We don't hear what our shadow has to tell us because we're afraid. And it's not maybe anything you can solve tonight, but it is certainly a way to begin and to honor it, honor your shadow for the work that it's done protecting you your whole life, and invite it to help bring the energy of transformation into your life, into your world. And it's a healing, beautiful healing process. Take another breath. So I'd like you to just sit for a moment about what your intention is for this exercise, for this evening, for this sacred circle. All these beautiful sisters, goddesses, priestesses that are joined here and that will listen in the future. How can your intention free up space so that you can expand your light? Take another breath. When you're ready, open your eyes. Yeah. So I'd like you to get your paper, your drawing, implement, whatever that is. And I realized when I did my practice one earlier that I didn't have a big enough paper. So I may just do a really big paper one of these days, but I want to start with this, and I want to do it in a neurographic bent. And for those of you that haven't done the neurographics in the next Lemuria, it's a way for us to use our hands and our crayons and our thoughts to move energy. And it can be very simple or it can be very complex. You can take it more deeply. So what I'd like you to do is in the middle of your paper, just make a circle. Well, or an oval, if that's what it turns out to be. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be big enough. And once you do that, I want you to begin writing in there the things that you feel shadow you, like perhaps lack of self-worth or self-doubt or anxiety, need for validation. You know what they are. So you write them in that circle. And it doesn't have to be any of the things I mentioned. Those are just examples. And if it falls out of the circle, if you need to go out of the circle, that's fine too. It's just a representation. And there's not a time limit here, but when you're finished, if you would just look up so we can know, and we'll move on. No pressure. I can't tell, Mindy, if people are looking up because they're really little.
They are all looking up, Goddess.
Everybody finished? Okay. So my words went way outside my circle and I started to just write around. So next what we're going to do is there is a bottom and a top. This is my bottom on my top, just because of the way I was holding this book. What we're going to do is draw neuro lines, which are not straight lines. They just kind of travel like a little river from the bottom through the circle and out the other side. And I'd like to put a little pointy arrow on the end like that. And then we're going to write a word down here like joy. So we're bringing joy through all this shadowy stuff. And then we can do it the other way. Doesn't have to be however you want it to be in the little arrow. And maybe acceptance. And then I would just keep doing that. The little arrow goes out into the universe and we're bringing love and light and acceptance to all this shadow. Let's do 8. That feels okay to you. Okay, I'm going to put it this way. I really like the way that feels. I like all that moving through that shadow. So, a couple things we can do next before we do the sound healing part is if you have the feather, a feather, you can just move it across all of that and sort of let that energy have some energy. I also have some really nice rosemary that I just got, and I'm just going to wipe that across the page here. And if you have your, well, I was going to say, if you have your dragon cards or your Lemurian codes, you can put them on that page. But then I thought, but I want them all on that page. So I think I'm going to put that page in the middle of all of this when we're done. And then when you've finished that, we're going to do some sound healing. And we're going to begin by putting making sure your microphones are off because we all have different upload speeds. And we're just going to do some ohms, and I will do them in different, no, on different notes, but you do whatever feels right for you. So I'm going to have my right hand over the center of the circle and my left hand on top of it. Big breath in. Oh. And do the breathing at your pace. One more om and ending with a hum. Now just softly rub your hands together. Shake them out. And if you have a candle, it's time to light that candle. And so lighting the candle at this part of our session is to bring back the light and say thank you and farewell to those shadows. They always have something to teach us if we are willing to learn, if we're willing to take the risk. We think it's risky because our ego wants to be in charge and it wants to stay in charge and it wants us to be controlled by fear. But we don't want to do that, do we? So we bring in the dragons and we bring in the light. The first time I was ever at a Shabbos ceremony on a Friday at my Jewish friends, and they did the prayers and they lit the candles and then they brought in the light. And that's really a very old ceremony. And people across the world are doing that every Friday, still bringing in the light. So that's why I wanted to have these candles here for you and why I wanted it to be dark for a while we were working with the shadow. It is the first time the shadow work was brought up to me, probably 25 years ago. I just thought, why would you want to do that? I thought that was the worst idea in the world. Literally let the lid stay on that box of whatever it is. I don't even want to know what it is. And so I did. And so I did for many years. But when you release it this way and in holy company, I mean, we have all been priestesses and healers, and we are all goddesses. And really, literally holy company at this time on our planet when all this wonderful astronomy and astrology is giving us a boost, that we ask for the transformation to be benevolent, of course, and with grace and ease, but admitting that there are things that we need to look at, and it's okay, because when we hold them in the light, what happens? The shadow disappears like fog in the sunshine. And that is the wonder of this, is that the shadow is just as sacred as the light. It has just as much to tell us. And when we acknowledge that, then we can get somewhere with it. When you think about whatever fear you might have, and if you think about what it takes for you to keep that under wraps, like, believe it or not, I used to have a terrible fear of public speaking, which is actually the number one fear of any of all humans. That's the most common fear. The second is the fear of enclosed places, which I have a healthy dose of. But I did used to be so afraid of public speaking because I was afraid that people would be judging me and thinking badly of me. So I didn't say anything. And it took me quite a while to not really care what they think, because honestly, we're mostly thinking about ourselves. We're not really thinking about other people as much as we think other people are thinking about us. So when you can get to that place and realize that we have nothing to lose by what? Making a fool of ourselves in public? What? We're not going to be beheaded. Nobody's going to die or get broken. And then we can use the power of it didn't happen as a whole new opening. I mean, it's like that part of our hard drive is filled with all these stories. And once we take them out of there, there's all that space. And I, for one, need that space. Yeah. So let's have a little message from the Star Mothers. I feel them ready. Dear shining sisters, dearest ones, yes, times of transformation, times, so much. And why not? You know how to take care of yourselves with this. You know what you are training for and have been. You know that each of these circles, any circles, cards, classes, all of it, friendships, community, children, all of it is part of this transformation, this wave that is coming over your world everywhere. We notice that people are saying no. And we knew this would happen. We knew that the timing was going to happen, and that would it be right, and that it will be better, and that it will be wonderful. But as we use this metaphor so many times, going through the birth canal for rebirthing is dark and painful and scary. But only when you don't know that the light is also there, waiting for you to emerge, calling for you all to emerge. holding sacred space for you to emerge into. Imagine that when you're feeling the politics or the natural disasters or the unrest, wars, famine, drought. Imagine, if you can, that light is holding amongst all of that. Light is still holding a sacred space for you and this planet to emerge, to ascend into the fifth dimension while you are still in your physical body. We haven't spoken of that very much, but we offer this to you tonight because this is such a powerful time, this day. You are aware of your third dimensional challenges and you deal with them every day. And you know what it's like to be in the fourth dimension. But snippets of the fifth dimension are coming closer and closer for you. And it isn't that you have to find it. It's that you have to be it. You have to reveal it in yourself. And as the light, as we, as the star fathers, the many galactics, the ascended masters, the angels, etc., 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 are holding that light as a sacred space for you to emerge into, for you to ascend into while still in physical form, the planet begins her ascension process also. She already began her ascension process 200,000 years ago, but marking time in that way is not quite as obvious as we talk about 1987 and the harmonic convergence in 12/21/2012 as the great shift. And all of these times yet to come, yet to come. And you will be connected more and more to the cycles of the planet, of the moons. And we know that you are familiar with those cycles because you're women. And how easy it is to disconnect from those cycles in a technological world. But we ask you, and we assign Meleha to bring more of that to you. For the closer you are to the natural cycles, the closer you are to the birth of the light and the ascension process. The ascension process does not happen on your calendar or your clock or your computer. It happens in a wave of consciousness outside of time, but not outside of space, not outside of energy, but outside of measurement, linear measurement. So as we sit with you this evening and we give you this, we ask you to begin to notice in your world when time seems to expand or contract or shift, because that is a symptom, a very beautiful symptom of your fifth dimensional creating. And we know you know about the crystalline human, the evolution that you are as you become the crystalline human. And that is the fifth dimensional reality and vibration. And we will be teaching more of this. We will be giving you more of this as we move forward at your side, holding space for you, sacred space of light and love. As we take this amazing voyage, incredible journey with you. We are blessed to have you say yes. Humanity has not done this in such numbers ever. So for now, as you are blessing and releasing your shadow and honoring your shadow, we ask you to know that as you do this, and you can do it more than just tonight. You can do this exercise, you can light these candles, you can dedicate yourself again and again, because that is what will expand your vibration, your consciousness, and the ascension process for everyone. Small assignment, no problem, right? We are with you. We are around you. You are in our hearts. We never step away, but for now, we step back. Take a breath. When you're ready, open your eyes. Mm-hmm. Mm. So thank you all for being a part of this process. I know and trust and love what a difference it makes to me and to everyone here and to the world. Thank you, Mindy, for being my wing woman. And thank you from all over the world, all over the beautiful planet. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Till then, aloha, namaste, mahalo. Bye for now.